Hello, and welcome to our second topic of the semester. We'll talk about urbanization today. Urbanizations. What is urbanization? We'll talk about the definition of it. We'll talk about how it affects our lives, right? And we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of urbanization. Well, let's begin then. We will kick off with some vocabulary exercises, right? We will take a look at some vocabulary related to urbanization, such as greenbelt land, overcrowding, residential areas, urban sprawl, squirrel, and infrastructure, demolition of old buildings, high-rise buildings, slums, tap water, and smog. All right, we will first try to understand what these words mean individually. We will look it up. We will understand these and we will take a look at the use of these words, how to use them in a correct way, how to make sentences with these, right? And well, after that, we will match these words with their definitions, right? So once you understand it, now you can match it with a definition. For example, a very tall building or skyscraper. They are sometimes called tower blocks. Which one do you think is this? It's talking about building, right? Could it be land? No, building is not land, right? Overcrowding is about people. It cannot be that. Residential areas. This is also talking about the area, right? So it cannot be building. Urban sprawl. Well, which one of these is a building? Oh, here you see. High-rise building, right? So it could be same as a tall building. And two, the condition of being disgusting, repulsive, or miserable. All right. How about this? Which word would match with B? A situation caused when there are too many people or traffic in a city, right? Which one would you match with C? The basic facilities or services in a country or city, such as transportation or communication systems, right? This is talking about facilities or services in a city. What is it called? One of these, yeah? Or rundown or dirty part of a city where poor people live. Where poor people live. So the kind of a bad side of the city, yeah? Poor area of the city. An area or neighborhood in a city where family houses predominate are as opposed to commercial or industrial areas. So this is not a city center, right? This is a place where family houses are built mostly. It's just houses after houses. What do we call this kind of place? Water obtained directly from the tap. The tap, right? The water, when you open the tap, you'll get this water. What is it called? Tap water. An area of wild land where people are allowed to build houses. People aren't allowed to build houses or factories by law. So a place where you cannot build your house, where you cannot build a factory, is just it's for wildlife. It's for the trees, for the animals. What is this place called? Smoke or other gases that pollute the air. J. The act of destroying a building, often in order to build a new building in its place. So your building gets old, right? You need to get rid of it. You need a new building. So you will bring it down and then you will build a new building. Basically, what is this action called? The uncontrolled growth of cities. City just grows too big, uncontrolled way. There is no like maybe enough roads. Maybe the streets are too narrow. Yeah. What is this called? After vocabulary, we would move on to a practice, right? Practice. We have this worksheet right here that we will work on. You could see we got 9 sentences basically, right? First, you need to fill in the sentences, and then you agree with the sentence or do you disagree with the sentence, and you need to give us your reason, right? So here we got 9 phrases: crowded, get around, cost of living, 24 hours, can't stand, things to do, be, myself, hate, energy, and excitement, right? Let's try to do number one then. I love the blah blah and blah blah of cities. Look at the picture right here, right? What could be the answer? You need to pick from here, yeah? I love the city. Well, basically you will do all these, right? There is, when you see the pictures, you can get a clue, right? Some of them are bad looking pictures, so that's where you would use the words that are in a negative way. Yeah, look at 7. How dirty cities are. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your reason for agreeing? What's your reason for disagreeing? All right. And then we will move on to conversation questions where we will have conversation. Where is Google Docs? Right here, right? So you will work in pairs for this activity. And then one of you will be student A, one of you will be student B. And then you will ask and answer these questions, right? You will ask your questions to your partner and you will answer your partner's questions, right? Yeah. Well. When your partner talks, maybe you could take some notes and stuff, right? Then we will talk about the questions. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of the questions. Number 1 from A. Do you prefer living in a town or in the country? Why? So, do you prefer the town or the country? If you like living in a town, give us the reason why. If you like living in the country, in a rural area, then why, right? Do you like trees? Do you like animals and stuff? Let's take a look at one question from B. If you could live in any city in the world, where would it be? So what is your dream city, yeah? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? What is the most fashionable city in the world right now? Fashion. Do you think it's Paris? Do you think it's New York? Do you think it's Bangkok? Yeah. What are the advantages of living in a large town or city? So if you live in Bangkok, right? What are the advantages of living in Bangkok compared to some small town? Yeah, or do you prefer holidays in the country or in the city? Why? Right? When you have holiday, you just finished your holiday, yeah? When you had a school break, do you prefer to spend your school break in the country or in the city? Right. Well, that would be it for that as well. Then we will talk about some issues here, some discussion questions like come up with 3 problems about the life in big cities and give solutions, right? So tell us 3 problems about living in a big city and give us some solutions, right? If the problem is the traffic, tell us how we could solve it. If the problem is what the life expense, if it's too expensive to live in a city, give us some, again, solutions. How could you reduce the cost of living, right? And then we will compare big city with rural life, right? big city like Bangkok versus a small town like Kanchanaburi, let's say, right? We'll compare these two. And your assignment will be talking about the change Bangkok went through in last 20 years. Oh no, this is not your assignment. Your assignment is right here. So this will be the conversation topics, yeah. And lastly, we will talk about this, right? Assignment. Talk about the change Bangkok went through in the last 20 years. And here are the things that you need to mention, right? In your presentation. Like start by providing a brief overview of Bangkok as a vibrant or dynamic city. Highlight the constructions of the new infrastructure such as transportation system, airport, or commercial buildings, and yeah, and so on. Basically, mention the growth of popularity of international cuisines and the emergence of trendy neighborhoods. Right, you will present your presentations talking about these, and that's it then. Okay, guys, that's it for urbanizations. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the class. Yeah.